Welcome to Boomer Live, and here we are back again to talk about the transfer news. Of course, a lot has happened over the last 3 weeks. A lot of changes in the European football. A lot of players moving here and there. Some big clubs making some big moves, getting in some players, which is totally unexpected. I have Anad with me. Anad, how are you feeling, and how do you think about whatever is happening around the European circuit?
I think some great transfers have happened already, and many more to happen as well. And recently, United also finally got Martinez from Ajax, so that's another transfer we'll be talking about today. And Lewandowski. I mean, obviously, so many great transfers happened already, and yeah, very excited for the season to start now. The friendlies are also going pretty well, so
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be exciting to see what happens now.
I mean, today, early in the morning, we had an exciting friendly. It was the El Clasico, which got over. So, good result. We had a newbie who scored in the El Clasico. Let's start off with
Rafinha.
Barcelona, right? Let's start off with Barcelona. We've been talking about the players they've signed. Oh my God. As a Barca fan, whoever you are, it's going to be a huge surprise for you what they have been able to achieve in such a short span. Anand, I want to ask you, what do you think about this transfer? Because this was the biggest of it all. Nobody expected Barca to make such signings. Already they made four big signings. Now Jules Koundé is almost on the way as well. Let's talk about Lewandowski to start with, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Barcelona, the financial situation is quite complicated. And now, reportedly, they've sold some of their TV rights for the next 25 years, around 25%. I mean, that's another story, for another day. And we'll be covering that whole financial situation podcast
Absolutely.
as well. But besides, despite of that, they've signed Lewandowski, who, I mean, fantastic career. One of the greatest strikers to ever play in Germany, 344 goals in 375 games, second highest scorer in the history of the Bundesliga. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
just behind Gerd Mueller, but he has a better minute per goal ratio than Mueller. So I
Yeah.
think for the last 5 years, he's been winning the Golden Boot, and he has 7 Golden Boots in the Bundesliga. So I mean, it'll be exciting to see how he does at Barcelona. And unfortunately, Benzema didn't play today. Otherwise, we'd have that classical rivalry already, kicking off
I
between
think it's already
Benzema and
kicked in, right? It's
Lewandowski.
already kicked in.
Yeah,
It's just brewing really well for all the La Liga
right,
fans.
right.
Last season, La Liga, the TV the TV rates had dropped down. The number of people who were tuning in had dropped down drastically. If you look at La Liga at large, it was a disappointing season for La Liga because they lost Lionel Messi, who was their
Right,
poster boy.
right.
When Cristiano Ronaldo left, also you saw the TV rates dropping down, and last year was just a huge hit. And even with Sergio Ramos also leaving the La Liga circuit, but this season there's something everybody's looking forward to. The stars are there
Definitely,
to bring it
definitely.
back again.
Yeah, and even even Lewandowski's reunion with Aubameyang at Barcelona. I mean, they played together at Dortmund. That'll be exciting to
Yeah,
watch how they do again. And it'll
yeah,
be interesting to see what kind of replacement Bayern can get.
yeah,
They're talking about Werner, they're talking about Kane and Depay, who obviously after Lewandowski's arrival would be a little out of favor now at Barcelona.
yeah.
Won't be
Yeah.
starting day in day out. So it will be interesting to see even Harry Kane, linked with Bayern Munich. Those are some interesting uh, rumors going around. So it
Absolutely.
would be nice.
I mean, talking about that, let's talk about another transfer. Who he was linked with Bayern initially as well, but he made his move to Chelsea. It is Raheem Sterling, the Englishman. He's been in the radar for quite a long while. He was not getting enough minutes in City for sure, and he was the second leading goal scorer for City in their club history. Definitely a celebrated player. He had a terrific Euros last time around. A huge move to Chelsea. Chelsea have been not that great in the transfer window, but they made some critical signings with the likes of Koulibaly, who will be talking later on in the live. But let's talk about Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, how do you see him fitting into the system of Tuchel? Because he has been a pacey man. He has got the skills. He's got the trickery with him. He's always done well. When the competition has always asked him to do well, or when the moment has always risen. He's always risen up to the occasion as well. Do you reckon him fitting in right into that position of someone like a Romelu Lukaku? I know he's going to be playing on the wings, but then he can also be used as a false nine, right?
Yeah, I think mostly on the wings and as a false nine. I mean, Sterling, he's got terrific ball control, and he's really fast. But he's been inconsistent. I mean, he's won many trophies at City, but in my opinion, Sterling never reached his full potential. I mean, he's
Right.
been a little inconsistent, and even on an international level, I mean, some bad decision making.
Yeah.
And interestingly, he's going to be the third player now after Anelka and Sturridge, to play for all three clubs: City, Liverpool, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a good option. More depth in the squad as
Yeah.
well, with along with Pulisic, Sterling, and ZX. So I mean, I think it's a good
I
addition.
think that's a good one because for Chelsea, at this very point, they are definitely struggling for squad depth, and they would need some reinforcements, especially with Romelu Lukaku leaving them the way he did. It was definitely hurting all the Chelsea fans, and their battle against Barcelona off the field also has not been going well because they've been hijacked off some big moves. And as Chelsea fans, yesterday, many Chelsea fans came out saying that Jules Koundé's decision to move to Barcelona was also very, very tough on them because they expected Jules Koundé to come to Stamford Bridge because it was almost all done. But let's talk about this year's new ownership as well on the brief, right? Do you reckon Todd Bowley and Thomas Tuchel taking in complete control of the negotiation dealing hasn't been affecting them to some extent?
Yeah, definitely. And they've given him a 200 million Arsenal apparently, to sign more players and challenge for the title. And now with Koulibaly coming in, I mean, what a player,
Yeah.
Koulibaly. You know,
Let's
at
talk about that.
31,
Let's bring that
he's
on.
the
Let's
captain.
um,
He's the captain of the Senegal team. He's a true role model. I mean, even off the pitch with all his efforts against racism, in the Serie A, and he's been great dribbler. Confident in possession, always fantastic distribution. Last season, funnily he had more league goal involvements than Timo Werner, who's a striker.
yeah,
So, you know, he's bigger and better than Rudiger. I think they've got a great replacement for Rudiger.
absolutely.
He's more physical, stronger. I mean, he's made for the Premier League, looks like, and
Do
fantastic
you
signing,
reckon
by
Chelsea should
Tuchel.
actually go for another defender because they need to explore more options, isn't it? Especially when it comes to their defensive reinforcements. Rudiger was a huge, it's definitely going to be a huge miss. Alongside him, Christensen also was hitting the peak at the right time for Chelsea, and he's going to be missed. And now with the likes of someone like Chaloba, who's looking to be one of those players who might get more minutes this season, you reckon that they should invest in their youth talent, or should they just go and in the market and look for someone like a Pau Torres, who's definitely done well for Villarreal in the last couple of seasons? Now that they're not going to get huge, couldn't they definitely would want to go for another defensive signing as well.
They do have Malang Sar and Chaloba, as you said, and
Yeah,
they do have players coming from the academy. And over the course of the season, they will need players, to step up and play whenever they can. So I think it'll be a good opportunity for the Chelsea's youth defenders as well to come up, like so many players have. And yeah, otherwise, some Reece James sometimes filling in for centre back, but I think definitely Chelsea, they've done really well already in the transfer market, and I don't really think they need to sign any big name centre back right away.
yeah, absolutely. Talking about that, let's talk about another centre back who has made his move to England. It's to your club, Anand. It is Martinez who has made his move from Ajax to United. Definitely Ten Hag's influence right there. He wanted to bring Martinez. He's one of the best ball playing centre backs out there in Europe. He's got definite control. We've seen his battles in the Champions League as well. He's a player with great brain. He can also play a centre defensive midfielder. He's as good as a midfielder, and also defensive acumen is just brilliant. What do you reckon about this
Absolutely.
move, and how much of a reinforcement is that going to be for Manchester United's defense, who were in shambles last season? If I have to put it right there.
A funny thing is Martinez shouldn't celebrate if he scores against Arsenal, because he's really been with them through Photoshop throughout the transfer market, and then finally he's ended up joining United. So I think that's a big sorry, sad scene for Arsenal fans. But I think Martinez, as you really said, I mean, his passing is another level. I mean, he picks up a pass, both ground passing and aerial passing.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
really good. So I think
We have a question there who
def-
asking who has a
no,
better
definitely
goal.
Arsenal. Definitely Arsenal. I mean, we spoke in the last live as well about Gabriel Jesus, and definitely I think Arsenal look great.
I think
Definitely they had
Spurs has had a very good transfer window as well. Very underrated, but they have signed
definitely
some big players. Richarlison is there, Perisic is there. They've signed Spence from PSV as well. Now this transfer they mean also business,
even
and Conte
Foster.
also, He's got great options now. I reckon alongside Arsenal, Arsenal had a great game today. Let's not forget that they trashed
Yeah, they
Chelsea.
beat Chelsea 4-0.
I mean, that's massive. And that young core of Arsenal is looking very good, and they mean business, right? What do you reckon about, as we're talking about transfer, what do you reckon about United's transfer window? Because uh, let's bring that about, because we were talking about Martinez. Um, Before that, they also had a departure in Paul Pogba. You reckon they are still looking for a midfield option to possibly fill in Pogba's role? Are they still interested in Frankie de Jong? Because Barca would definitely want to get Frankie de Jong off their books, because, or else they might not be able to sign Jules Koundé or register him as well, because he's been shown in the books of Barcelona.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they're unable to expand as well.
Yeah, I think definitely United will look to sign another center midfielder this season. If they can't get Frankie De Jong, they might look for Tielemans or some other replacement in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I think United definitely still lacking in terms of transfers, but it's a good step with Martinez. I think Martial has been really, really good in the friendlies, but then again, that squad isn't really consistent.
Yeah.
So it's really, really unpredictable, the United side.
Absolutely, because what is happening with United is something which everybody is puzzled about, and Ten Hag definitely has a plan for sure. But at the same time, you never know what's going to happen, because they've done a good job so far in the preseason. The play style has changed that bit. So they're more on the ball focused. They want to spend, that's more Ten Hag's philosophy. Whatever he's done with Ajax, he wants to put that impetus onto United as well. And United has got the players, right? The likes of Rashford, Jadon Sancho, they all are supremely talented players. They might not have had a great season last time round because of all the turmoil which is happening around the club with the management, with the coaching staff being changed. But now, if you have a set manager, set project, and a set philosophy, you expect these players to come into the fold pretty much in a good way, right?
Right, right. No, but no one knows what happens behind the scenes at Man United. Yeah, see, even people want CR7 out. I think the wage structure at United is also pretty messed up because of players like Ronaldo. I mean, sorry to say, but I think if United sell Ronaldo, they'd really be better off. As Sayani said, because one being
Yeah.
name of the wage bill, and also if but apparently no club wants to sign Ronaldo now. It's a big turn around, from Ronaldo, from United fans being concerned about Ronaldo leaving now. It's like, clubs are rejecting Ronaldo. So it's very strange, actually. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see how United survive, because no one knows really what happens, as I said, behind the
Yeah.
scenes. So
I
it's
think there's a
quite,
lot of
quite tough.
United fans joining us. They're all, they all want to have a query about United, what's happening in United, because United, the new regime has definitely kept all the United fans excited. What do you reckon about Frenkie de Jong to United? We have spoken about it previously. Is there still a possibility? I definitely know that Barcelona wants him out as well.
Right, right. Yeah, and I think, given his relationship with Ten Hag, I think definitely De Jong, if he would go anywhere, he'd go to Man United if he does decide to leave. And there's talk of, pending wages as well, which Barcelona haven't paid De Jong. So I think the whole situation will have to be resolved between his agent and the club, before he can leave. So
Yeah.
we'll just have to wait and watch. I think a lot of transfer talk yet to happen. I mean, a lot of transfer windows still, left. I think it's on till September, so a lot of
Yeah.
interesting things
Yeah.
will still
And in the first of the
unfold.
transfer window, so we have seen all the drama, all the saga, whatever has unfolded. Even you saw last season. Last season was one of the most craziest transfer window. You saw Ronaldo and Messi make the move. But this time around, it's been very exciting for a lot of clubs, because a lot of new players, new reinforcements. So it's an exciting window for all the European clubs, and some of the clubs have stayed quiet, but the latter half of the transfer window is going to make a lot of openings for a lot of these clubs have stayed calm throughout this initial half as well. As you spoke about Ten Hag and the relationship, another boy who was part of the Ajax system who made his move to Bayern Munich, quite surprisingly from Juventus, and he was in the radar of Chelsea, he was in the radar of even of United as well for a brief period. Now, him making a move to Bayern Munich, it happened all of a sudden. He came out making a statement that his boyhood club was Bayern Munich, which is quite surprising for me as well. I can't believe a Dutch player having the relationship with a German club in his boyhood. So, what do you make about this move, and how do you see it fitting into Bayern Munich as well?
No, I think since Alaba left for Madrid, Bayern never really found a world class replacement for Alaba.
Hmm.
So I think Delete, he's proven himself in the Serie A. He's been really, really strong, defensively, and he marks players really well. I mean, he's there scoring goals of headers as well. I think on his
Yeah,
debut in the friendly, he scored a nice volley as well for
yeah, it was
Bayern
a
in the
beautiful,
friendly. Beautiful
it was a
volley.
beautiful, yeah,
So
beautiful.
it'll be exciting to see what Delete does as well in the Bayern squad. And now Mane, and they've already got their replacement in Mane. I mean, he's a very different kind of player from Lewandowski. You don't know if he'll score 40 goals, but he'll definitely make other players score goals as well. So I think Bayern have already done a decent job in the transfer window, even though they've sold
Yeah,
Lewandowski. So
absolutely. Good
I'm sure
question though.
they will sign another conventional number nine. Uh,
Yeah.
but so
Can it be
I'm
Ronaldo? Because so
excited
far
for that
Oliver
as well.
Kahn has come out stating that they do not want Ronaldo, they don't see Ronaldo part of the system, but maybe for a brief period challenging for the UCL. That makes a lot of sense, right? Now with this question we can relate to the signing of Ronaldo as well. Ronaldo wants to compete at the highest level. Ronaldo wants to play the UCL, and Bayern Munich has got the team. Bayern Munich is definitely sure of two trophies at least every season, that's for sure. And alongside that, Bayern Munich, if they get that extra bit of push in the UCL, and Ronaldo brings in that experience, winning mentality, and whatnot. And Mane, Ronaldo, Sane, and Gnabry, that's going to make a potent attacking force, isn't it? And he's going to be fielded off really good balls with the Kimi, Goretzka, and Muller in the back.
So we got Tammy's question. Tammy, I think definitely they can, but it's very unpredictable. I think they still need another number nine, though, a conventional number nine like Lewandowski, to finish and to be at the end of crosses, for Bayern. But even without that signing, I mean, Bayern Munich is a big, big club, so definitely they will be challenging the players, the squad. Everyone will be thinking that they can win the Champions League, so they will
Absolutely.
be going 100%. And trying to get the big trophy.
Absolutely. Because we've been talking about that. Let's talk about another team who might be challenging for the, the Champions League as well. They want to challenge for the Champions League, but let's see. They've been in a lot of turmoil as well. It's Barcelona once again. I'm bringing them up. It's with this big move. Rafinha, who was hijacked by Barcelona, he was almost moved to Chelsea, but then Laporta and Alemany has been on some serious business this time around. They've been able to convince players in such a way that they have been able to brainwash their minds and bring them to Barcelona. What do you think about this guy? He scored a golazo today against Real Madrid. He's been pacey, even in the friendly against Inter Miami. He just has been making a lot of goal involvements, and he's been making those runs, which has been missing for Barcelona for a very long time. Now with two pacey men up front with Dembele and Rafinha and also Lewandowski in the middle, do you reckon Barcelona are really looking to challenge for UCL this year?
Absolutely,
Because
absolutely,
it's more a
absolutely.
project and building a team, right?
Definitely. I think Lewandowski and Benzema will be in the run for the Golden Boot for the La Liga this season. I mean, everyone thinks that, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
for Leeds, Rafinha has been excellent. I mean, the great pace, as you said. Fantastic
yeah,
ball control, and he's very skillful as well. So great crossing ability as well. And now with Lewandowski, as you said, in the center to be at the end of these crosses, what a finisher! I mean, you
yeah.
see Lewandowski's goals, his finishing. It's like he was born to score goals. So yeah,
And he
definitely.
demands a lot. He's got the ego in a positive way. We often talk about ego in a negative way, right? He's got that ego in a positive way. He demands a lot from his players. Yeah. Sorry, I just got cut over that. Yeah. Yeah, it's a player who demands the ball, player who wants to make an impact on the game. That's what Lewandowski has always been, and that's why you want a player like him in Barcelona, considering their condition. We've got an interesting question here.
I think Dembele, he'll be on the bench mostly or out injured, like he usually is. But Barcelona definitely needs some depth and experience depth, on those wings. So I think
Yeah,
Fatih will definitely get a chance. He's been excellent. I mean, at his age to score so many goals for Barcelona, I think he's on the way to
do you reckon
being one of.
injury has been troubling Fatih as well because two consecutive injuries putting him off the season for almost close to a year now, and he's not been consistent at all. Whenever he comes, he makes an impact, but he goes off injured, and he's also very young. Let's remember that young legs, a lot of work pressure on, and it could really hamper him, isn't it? And you reckon he's going to be a short starter? He could be a a player who can come off the bench, right? And let's not forget that's also Aubameyang. What happens to Aubameyang now? Because he's been the player who made a lot of difference for Barcelona towards the latter half of the season with his scoring ability. Now what happens to him?
I think Aubameyang will be, playing more on the left like he was at Arsenal, since Lewandowski will be playing more centrally. And if Aubameyang is going to move on the left, then you have either Dembele or Rafinha starting on the right wing. So I think that's the way they'll go. But I don't think Aubameyang, or I mean, definitely Lewandowski will. But I think Aubameyang will be playing in game out, and even they might even sell him during the transfer window. So you never know what happens.
I mean, that's going to be a very interesting time for Barcelona as well because they have a lot of options right now and they have got important decisions to make as well. Uh, you know, this has been that kind of a window where you saw some players moving who you might not even have realized. And one of such a move has been Zinchenko to Arsenal. What do you make of that move? Because City are definitely eyeing at someone like a Marc Cucurella. Cucurella has been having a great season with Brighton. He was their best player in the last season with Brighton and Albion. And now Zinchenko going into Arsenal, definitely Arsenal need a left back. Though there have been Kieran Tierney who has had a great season with Arsenal, but they wanted a player who could possibly go up there, provide that the creative option as well, playing as a wing back or playing as a winger. You reckon that he'll get the starting role at Arsenal, or will Arteta prefer somebody like Kieran Tierney?
Absolutely. I think he should. I mean, he should get the starting more senior role. I mean, he's won more Premier League titles than Arsenal have as a club during his career, Zinchenko. So definitely, the 9 trophies with Man City. He's a winner of cups and he's been a part of a winning squad with Guardiola. So I think it's a great addition in terms of mentality as well as quality. As you rightly said, I mean, Zinchenko, he's much better than Kieran. He's been much better than Kieran Trippier.
Yeah, I think that's a compliment coming on our way. You look like Arnold King. Yeah, Arnold King. We all love him. He's a great singer. And yeah, I admit, you do look like Arnold King a little bit. So yeah. Yeah, but having said that, I think it was a great time interacting with you all. It was great talking to you and Art as well. We've been able to cover almost everything possible, some big transfers, of course. Tomorrow we'll be coming back again. It's going to be interesting live. We're going to be having Almighty Blues FC and also Aditya Guruji joining us for live on Chelsea versus Barcelona battle off the field on the transfer negotiation. What is happening in Chelsea's camp? How did really Barcelona pull off these transfers? So it's going to be a really educational kind of a stream, but with a lot more fun and banter as well. Thank you, Anand. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank
Great
you,
taking
Emil.
Yeah, and great taking all your questions. Keep coming and do subscribe if you haven't already, and put the like button on as well, so we can reach out to more people with the algorithm, and also play a fantasy contest because the season is just 2 weeks away, and you can make all the teams and win some exciting rewards because this new season is going to be super exciting because also the World Cup is coming in a couple of months as well. So have
Right, and even
all
the women's Euros are on, and we have them on the Boomer 11 app soon. So do play for women's Euros as well, and we have India versus Pakistan as
West
well,
Indies.
women's
Yeah, India
match,
versus Pakistan. And
and
India taking on West Indies tonight at
tonight,
7.
yeah,
Yeah, at 7 p.m. Indian time, 5:30 GST. So do not miss out on that opportunity to make the team because you have
yeah,
1 hour to actually get in there, look at the sports, and we have posted our fantasy tips as well. So follow us on Instagram for that. Look into the fantasy tips, analyze, make a team, and be a winner with Win
yeah,
11.
and I think they're giving away Domino's vouchers. So if you're into pizza, definitely on a Sunday you can get a pizza from Domino's.
Yeah,
If you
what's more
play
exciting,
India
right?
West Indies top
Sunday night
25,
with some sports and pizza. Perfect plan, right?
definitely.
That's it. Thank you, Anahad. It was great interacting with you.
All right, I will see you soon.